I recorded this part of the video like this because I did not get permission from the person to be able to show their profile picture or their name, so. Hey guys, Reptile Dude 2004 here. So one of you asked me about how to tell if a bearded dragon is male or female. So right now I have Tony out, and I'm going to show you how to tell a little bit, if I can here. So underneath the tail, right here, there's one lump right here. So you see that line? That's where her butt is. Right here on the tail, there's one lump. That one lump is signifying that it's a female. And also, you can see that there are pores. Oh, oops, tired, Tony. There's pores right here. They're somewhat noticeable, but in my male, they're very, very noticeable, like more so than these. So those are two indications to tell. Also being another one, when a male is around, a female will wave her arms towards the male and kind of like throw her head up a little bit sometimes, and then like wave her arms, telling him that she's ready to do that, to mate. But sometimes males will also act as females. I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the next video, or not next video, but next portion of this video with Spike, so you guys can see that for yourselves. But also then for how to tell if a bearded dragon is pregnant, obviously only females can get pregnant, but how to tell, they might not be maybe like as active in certain aspects. They might be digging more. They might also be eating well, they'll be eating a lot more up until they're ready to have the eggs, then they'll stop eating for a little bit. You could feel the eggs in their stomach down in here. You could like feel them and also see lumps. Your bearded dragon might get annoyed with you quite a bit. If you try to play with it, it might get annoyed or mad at you and won't want to do anything. It'll just be kind of like sluggish in a way. Yeah, there's probably some other ways to tell if your bearded dragon is pregnant, but those are just some that came to the top of my head. I've just did some research on it. I didn't want to give you guys any false information, but if you guys have any other indications, please let me know in the comments, and we can educate each other on it. That would be really nice. But yeah, when I get more experience with breeding reptiles, and I do it for a while, I'll be able to make better videos and better educate you guys from my own experience with it. So now I'll be switching over to the next portion of this video with Spike and explain how to tell that he is a male. Alright guys, I got my male out now, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how to tell if a bearded dragon is a male. So, right here, okay, underneath here, so you can kind of see that there's definitely two lumps underneath here. You can kind of see there's a line that's going right here. And then you see that there's a lump here and a lump right here. Those are the male reproductive parts. So that is a really good way to tell if it's a male or female. Now, it's really hard to see, but you can kind of see it. And then also underneath, oh, oops, dropped my phone there. And now he's head bobbing. Well, speaking of which, that's another way to tell if a bearded dragon is male or female. Males bob their heads and females will wave their arms when they see each other. That's another indication that might also be helpful. There is another thing too, though, they have to consider. Sometimes males will act like females because they don't want the other males around them to be aggressive towards them. But theoretically, if your dragon is not really around males very often, and you can see some differences that make it seem like it could be a female, it's most likely a female, unless you have a lot of them close together in enclosures, which I wouldn't really recommend keeping them in the same enclosure, especially male and female, or two males. Only two females or more would maybe be okay, depending on how big the enclosure is. But yeah, so that hopefully that helps. Also, males have certain pores underneath their tail as well, if he'll let me pick him up here. You can kind of see, he's not letting me. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm trying to show people something here. I can't really show you guys in this video. Maybe in the future I make a video on it showing the pores, but males have certain pores that they have like close to their tail. Females have them too, but usually the females' pores are a lot smaller and hardly noticeable, whereas the males' pores are usually a lot more noticeable. So that's another indication as well. Also, I'm going to show you guys my leopard gecko. I know this is about bearded dragons, but I'm going to show you my leopard gecko for just a little bit of an indication and maybe a help to you guys to maybe better be able to sex your reptiles. And I will be right back with the next transition with my leopard gecko. Alright guys, I got my leopard gecko out here, and he just shed the other day actually. He was getting pretty pale, it looked like, and then his, the next, I think it was either by the end of the day or the beginning of the next day, I looked at him and he was all yellow again, so he got all his shed off pretty easily, which is really nice. He hasn't had any problems shedding. He's only had problems with the hemipenal prolapse once, and Tony had a cloacal prolapse one other time, but actually she had, I think, maybe 3 or 4 all together in the time I've had her, but she's doing okay now. But, so I mentioned about how to tell if a reptile is like male or female, and I thought that showing you my leopard gecko might help you guys determine that a little bit better. So if he would just let me show you here. I'm gonna lift up his butt. I can show you. Oh, he's not gonna let me. All right, buddy. Okay, all right, this is really difficult, but you can kind of see there's a lump right there on his tail. There's one on the other side too, and those are the male reproductive parts, and only the males have those. Here's a good look at it. You can see right there, right underneath those pores, which that was another thing I talked about. Underneath those pores is another thing. So like there was those 2 lumps. The 2 lumps are the reproductive parts of the male, but the pores are another indication. Those pores are only really extremely noticeable in males, and sometimes they are kind of noticeable in females as well, but usually you can barely notice it. There are occasions where some females do have pretty noticeable pores though, so it's not the best indication, I suppose, but it might be helpful in a way to you. But hopefully you guys saw the lumps on the tail for him. I don't know how old he is exactly. I'm pretty sure he's at least maybe like 1.5 years, maybe 2 years old. So that just shows you how long you might have to wait until you know for sure, maybe if your dragon or any reptile for that matter is male or female. But that is a pretty good indication though, to help. Definitely, if you can see male reproductive parts, then it's a male, obviously, and if it doesn't have that, then it's a female. Hopefully that helps you guys out though, and I'll try to make better videos in the future when I actually do have more experience having reptiles, and when I actually start breeding more reptiles and everything in the future, and I have some more experience with that kind of thing, I'll make better videos and better educate you guys on this type of stuff when I'm better educated myself, because I've only had reptiles for about 1.5 years now, so I really, or well, actually maybe 2 years, I can't remember, but obviously I'm not that experienced with it yet, and I would definitely like to make better videos for you guys in the future when I have better information. I don't want to give you guys false information. I want to make sure it's right, and what I've said so far, there's plenty of things to back up what I said, but if anything I said isn't clear, please let me know. Just write a comment in my comment section, let me know if something wasn't clear that I said, and I'll try to explain it to the best of my ability. I do appreciate you guys so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. I also have 3 other channels that I've been working on recently. I have a gaming channel, a vlogging channel, and a biblical talks channel. If you guys wouldn't mind, if you like any of those, or if you if that might seem interesting to you, um, please maybe subscribe to those channels and support me. I'd like to make YouTube into a full-time career someday, and I would really appreciate if you guys would help me out with that. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.